Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. We have another nice short little video with Sabur. Assalamu alaikum, bro.
Walaikum salam.
So what are we talking about today?
I wanted to speak about grit.
Grit? What's grit?
Sheer willpower.
Oh, okay.
Sheer tenacity.
No, I was thinking not the sort of
patience.
hard chunks in your tuna can that you were eating earlier on.
Yeah, I mean, the strength, just having strength, right? So I put up a tweet the other day.
Yeah.
If the Palestinians were raised on woke liberalism, they would not be able to deal with the calamities of life.
Absolutely.
Islam as a faith gives you that strength. You believe in multiple things which help you in the struggle of life. So, one of the things you believe in is qadr. That whatever has happened was supposed to happen and I could not have avoided it. One of the other things you believe is the purpose of life is to worship Allah. My house is destroyed, my family's killed. But what do they say? They say Alhamdulillah. They still understand the purpose of life is to worship Allah. They get another lesson about trust in Allah. That sometimes something bad is happening to you, but there is something good in store for you. And Allah knows and you do not know. So the thing is, there are a multitude of beliefs that a Muslim has which keeps them strong, which keeps them firm, which keeps them going, which makes them persevere, which makes them have grit, which makes them have willpower. Yeah. And this is the thing, Imran, right? What does the atheistic, nihilistic, liberal, woke nonsense, all of, because they're also linked. Yeah. Someone would think, how is nihilism linked to wokeism? It is 100%. Yeah. You make your own reality because you don't ultimately believe anything has intrinsic value. So because nothing has intrinsic value, therefore, somebody wants to identify as a plant. Right, I'm a plant. I'm going to eat mud, whatever, right? Whatever. Just the plants don't eat mud anyway. But you get my point. Get my point. The fact is, we are spiritual beings. When your body is spiritually weak, it's physically weak. When your body is spiritually strong, it is physically strong. So, if you look at the tenacity of these people, the tenacity of the Libyans under Italian colonization, the tenacity of the Filipino Muslims when they were being killed by the conquistadors. So the fact is, we have this tenacity as Muslims. And where does this tenacity come from? It comes from Iman, it comes from faith, it comes from a belief in Allah. And if we don't have this belief, if there's somebody who has a weak belief, you can't deal with the problems of life. So the fact is, so many people in Iran are looking towards Islam because of the Palestinians. So you find on TikTok, and people are reading the Quran, people are interacting with Muslims, people are wanting to know why. Because they see, oh my God, there's these people that have gone through calamity and they're saying Alhamdulillah. There are people who are going through immense pain, but they're still smiling. What is going on? Yeah. It is not that the Palestinians are impoverished. It is not that the Palestinians are downtrodden. It is that the people who have everything in this world, yet they're depressed, yet they do not have willpower, yet they sometimes don't even have the energy to get out of bed, yet they cannot deal with even the small calamities in life. They're the ones who are impoverished because they do not have the richness of Iman. Yeah. And that's something which I think a lot of non-Muslims now are waking up to. What is it with these Palestinians? How can they have this Iman? How can they still be smiling during a calamity?
And you know this notion, bro, this secular notion that your beliefs in the supernatural, your belief in the divine is supposed to be kept behind closed doors. Don't bring it into your worldly life. It's nonsense, bro. I'll tell you why, yeah? It's the belief in Allah that we've seen demonstrated through the Palestinian people and Muslims across the world that have suffered. Yeah. That has led them to deal with that suffering in their life. Go through that in a profound way, bro. Because what does nihilism do, bro? What does atheism... It's like, you know that famous saying, the drowning man clutches at straws. Yeah. When you deny Allah, you are like a drowning man, bro. Yeah, or a drowning woman. And when you're drowning, you're going to clutch at things. Yeah, you're going to start reaching out and trying to grab things. That's all these secularists and atheists and nihilists are doing, bro. And that's all they have been doing for the past couple of, decades, past century. Islam grounds you, bro. It's not just a belief. It's not just a statement. You don't just say, yeah, I believe in Allah, and then go about your secular life, bro. No, it permeates your entire existence and your entire being, right? It directs your life. It gives your life meaning. It grounds you, bro. You know, the atheism and nihilism, drowning man clutching at straws. Islam is like that strong tree with deep roots grounded, bro. No matter what comes your way, they can deal with it, or we can deal with it. And inshallah, may Allah give us the ability to deal with it, because our lives are grounded in the belief in the Creator, which instills profound meaning into our lives, bro.
Yeah.
And you can't get that anywhere else. You're not going to get that anywhere else.
And you know, the Palestinians and I heard this in a talk the other day. You know, you could study Aqidah for 70 years, but you won't have the Iman of the Palestinians. Now, what's that saying? That's saying if you just sit there and you just learn abstract concepts, which are good and valid and very important in your religion.
Yes.
But if they are just abstract concepts, if you haven't internalized them, if those pages and what you're reading does not impact your belief in Allah, then what is it all for? And you have these people who are going through suffering and pain, and ultimately, what are they for us? They are for us a source of inspiration, that somebody in amongst the rubble of chaos, they can still retain their sanity, their iman, and try and piece their lives back together and encourage each other. Yeah. Why are you crying for? You know, we are Muslims, we are believers, we go through these tests and trials, and it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible when you see the tenacity of these people. And I think you know when we think of somebody with a lot of iman, we automatically start to think of, you know, somebody sitting in Medina, long beard, in the masjid from Maghrib to Isha making dua. But amongst the rubble, you'll have someone disheveled, you know, hair all over the place and bloodied up, and, you know, still saying, I believe in Allah. Like that.
Yeah, and they're not scholars. They're not all scholars.
They're not. And the thing is, why is it that we are looking at them with inspiration, at their tenacity? Because we've seen this in history. We've seen this in multiple areas of the Muslim world, where some people just held together. They said, we're not going to give up. You know, the Prophet ﷺ and Abu Bakr, they were in the cave, and the Prophet ﷺ, what did he remind Abu Bakr? Allah is with us.
Yes.
So the fact is, we are an ummah which goes back centuries, and these moments, like the moment in the cave, and like what's happening in the to the Palestinians, and what happened to the Libyans under colonization, the oppression of the Quraysh against the Sahaba, all these instances, Muslims see them as very important time periods. Yeah. They see them as times of tribulation, times where you can see what real iman is. Because look, Imran, this is something I remember Hamza Sotzes used to, he said, and it really stuck with me. He said, look, it's easy to pray, it's easy to fast, it's easy, you pray 5 minutes, Asr, done. Like, it's profoundly important, but it's not difficult, right? But what is difficult is you maintain your iman in times of difficulty. Yeah. You pray when everything's falling apart. You believe in Allah when everything's falling apart. That's the real test, which is why, you know, these people are inspirational. Likewise, the Rohingya, the oppression they go through, and how they remain upon Islam, the oppression that the Yemenis go through, or others, all these different people in the last 100 years, all these different Muslim nations, Muslim tribes, Muslim ethnic groups that have been through these oppressive periods. The Muslims under the Soviet Union, how they used to hide the Quran, right? So we have to keep in mind that these are points of inspiration for us to look at how faith can keep you going during times of tribulation.
It's not just a thing of the past. I think that's one of the most profound things we've witnessed recently, bro. That this iman, this level of iman, which will allow you to go through the most difficult things in life and to traverse those difficulties with such grace, bro, is not a thing of the past. It's not just stories, bro. We've seen it amongst the Palestinian people, bro. And that's happening today, right? And the question is, I guess, where we can wrap this up, is how do we develop that level of iman, bro? And one thing you've highlighted, it doesn't take you being a scholar to develop that level of iman. What it seems to take is true internalization of the core concepts and ideas that Islam teaches us, bro. Yeah. True connection with Allah.
And you know, one way of thinking about it is, sometimes when you read the works of Imam Ghazali or Ibn Taymiyyah or other Imams of Islam,
Yeah.
is they're talking about things which you think, wow, can someone really have that much iman that they can withstand this, they can withstand that, and they talk about the different, you know, strategies of how you can improve yourself, right? But then you start thinking, okay, like, where do we see this in reality? Where can someone have this level of tawakkul? Where can somebody... And then you start seeing it through social media. You know, I can't imagine someone telling me that my brother died or my sister died. Imagine somebody being told your wife, your daughters, your children, your mother, your grandfather, your uncles, your cousins, everybody is flattened. You know, like, it's unbelievable. Yeah. It's unbelievable. And, you know, there is something very special about Sham, the area of Sham, the whole region. This is mentioned by the Prophet ﷺ. And, you know, in the Quran, we know that Al-Aqsa is mentioned and the area around it is blessed. Like, we know that these are blessed people who can put up with trial and tribulation. And they're done. This is not just now.
No, it goes back.
What happened during the time of the Mongols? Yeah. That same region was under attack. What happened during other times in Islamic history? You know, so we just have to keep in mind that it's not just about seeing what's happening, praying for the Palestinians, you know, the and helping out in terms of the humanitarian issues that they are facing. But it's about taking the spiritual lessons from this. What is the spiritual insight from this? What can we learn from this? And how can we look at them as sources of knowledge of how do you deal with such difficult situations?
No, it's profound, bro. So such an important point. Because you're right, bro. A lot of us these days get caught up in the academia. Get caught up in the technical discussions and seeking knowledge, which is important and needs to be done, but there's an objective behind seeking knowledge, right? It's that you draw closer to Allah, your iman increases. If that's not happening, then we have to really go back to the drawing board and ask ourselves, well, why isn't it happening, right? And like you said, bro, these what we're seeing and what we're witnessing are profound lessons for us, yeah? All of us, especially as Muslims. Let's start with ourselves. What can we learn from this situation, bro? You know, and if anything, bro, it's a profound reality check that has led to many non-Muslims even becoming Muslim. But for Muslims, hopefully it's acting as a reminder that, look, we have been given a religion, a way of life, which is going to allow you to sail through the turbulent seas of life with relative ease, with understanding the meaning behind everything, right? Islam teaches us that there's meaning behind suffering as well. It's not just a random, you know, event that occurs and this is just a problem or a roadblock for us. No, everything happens for a reason, and it's an opportunity for us to draw closer to Allah and connect with Allah.
That's it.
You know, and worship Him, which is the ultimate objective, bro.
Yes.
That is the ultimate objective. It's not to make $1 million in this world, not to build a mansion, not to, you know, have all of the luxuries of this world, you know, as many people are told today. Yeah, the American dream or the British dream or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's about worshipping Allah. Right? Jannah is to come. Paradise is to come in the hereafter. Right? The eternal abode is there. We are working for that here. Yeah. Right? That's the objective. Anything else you want to share, bro, before we call it a day?
True richness is the richness of the soul. Jeff Bezos is not as rich as a Palestinian who has been able to understand how to deal with calamity. Because that wealth of knowledge is not something you can acquire through your credit card.
No. Subhanallah. Anyway, brothers and sisters, Jazakallah khair for listening. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll speak to you next time. Assalamu alaikum.